Good evening. Welcome to tonight. My name is Obin Dako. I want to share with you what I call business success takes hard work. Business success takes hard work. Most people don't gravitate towards responsibility as a requirement to succeed in life or in any endeavor. Or most people underestimate what it takes to succeed. It's either they don't. That's why people follow a lot of magic and a lot of quick schemes to get success, especially when it comes to money. So most people would want to take lotto, or would want to do connection, or would want to steal, because they don't want the responsibility that comes between their desire to succeed financially and the things that they have to do from where they are to where they want to get to, what they have to do to get there. Majority of us don't like that. Or we get impatient when we are not getting there quickly, and so it's business. So many people have been told, in a part of the world we spend a lot of time crying to God, praying, fasting, looking for a prophet to declare some things for us. It has always become an epidemic, so to say, to have a generation that thinks that the only best formula to succeed is to pray to God. And so, just as we are all born into some kind of religion, it is tough to debate religion. It's tough. So, we all believe that. Even those who are trying to work hard still believe that they need some external forces somewhere to make them succeed. And that has become almost like a culture. But success, business success, any startup that you are into, any business that you want to do, anything that you set for yourself, it will take some level of input, and usually it takes a lot of work. So it will take what they call hard work. If you're a modern man, if you're very, if you're the kind of people who don't want to use the right word, you would want to say that you have to work smart. But working smart means using your brain, and using your brain is the hardest work there is. So when some people become that much intelligent, they say that they believe in smart work, not hard work. Listen, there's nothing like smart work. There is a minimum amount of hours that you will need to get results with any endeavor. So if you see somebody who has done business for 40 years, 50 years, and you think that when you put in 2 months you will beat that person, you're sleeping. If you see somebody who lifts load, those who are in the gym, who build their muscles, do you think that they built that muscle to go and compete at the world scale or at the world level in the Olympics just by training for 2 weeks? Some of them have done it all their lives. And it is no joke committing to a program to build muscle so that you can become a champion on the world scale. If you see the men and women who play football, the top ones, you think that they just became very skilled just by sleeping and eating popcorn? No, sir. They worked. And training is very hard. It's tough. When everybody is sleeping, you're training. When everybody is going for parties, they are training. Do you think that the most successful politicians didn't work to achieve or get to where they are now? They're sleeping. The last elections, did you see how much the current president campaigned? He was old, he was in his 70s, but he was in every village. Every day they were traveling every night, moving, strategizing, because he wanted a victory. Yet when people start anything, especially at the personal level, they believe that God will help them to succeed. And so they happen not to put in the required input, if in quote, the required, because every success requires some level of input. And until you have given that input, you are not going to get any output. And business is part of it. So sometimes you talk to friends who are doing business and who are just following the normal part, because the business part, if you look at it in a lot of studies that you have done on startups, on entrepreneurship, on people who are trying to build businesses, there is a pattern. If you start, you usually don't start like that, Most often you start like that, and then you start to dip. Then sometimes it can go way down. And if you're resilient and persistent, you start to pick it up. And you start to go, and you start to go up. And so the part to building a business, the part to building anything, is not that when you start to just... if you believe that, you believe in the magic. And I'm not sure many people see magic in their lives. The most successful have gone through the processes. The most successful have gone through a lot to become successful. So if you set a goal for yourself, if you want to succeed in business and you are on the path, don't give up. Don't give up. It will take you a lot of hard work. It will take you a lot of input to start to see the success. And so succeeding is not that simple. That's why many people don't really succeed with their dreams and with their endeavors. They give up, or they reduce their target so that to feel comfortable. But if you set a very huge target for yourself, it is going to take a lot of effort, and that is called hard work. And so even if it's not business, even if it's a managerial position, even if it's a project that they have given you to handle, if you're going to succeed in that project, you cannot deceive yourself. If they give you anything to deliver, if they give you they put you as the head of anything, you are going to succeed only when you work hard. So if you don't have that consciousness to put in the hours, and you think that you can just do things anyhow and succeed, just because you call on the name of God, you lie. All the Bible scriptures or the stories that you hear, what most people overlook is the training, is the commitment, is the odd hours that the people who became victorious, went through. That most often the people who only preach about the miraculous and the power of God don't highlight. So they talk about David and how David used the strength to kill Goliath. But he was a skilled man. He trained. If they talk of Samson, he trained. It's not just the power of God. Okay, I'm not a pastor, so let's talk about business. So success requires hard work. If you want to succeed, it will take a lot of hard work. It will take a lot of creativity, a lot of thinking, because usually what you start out with, especially with business, if you start up to say, I want to start a real estate company, I want to start to manufacture a product, or I want to start a finance company, or I want to start a farm, whatever that you want to start, usually the idea that you come up with will go through a lot of changes. It will take a lot of thinking and planning and creativity for you to get the one that works. And that creativity, that planning, that strategy that you're going through will not take a lazy man to go through that. So it will take some level of hard work for you to go. It will take a level of perseverance, because most things don't just work out just because you started it. They work out because you don't give up on them. So if you don't give up on something, you will go and you stay with it, you will succeed. And business or startups or entrepreneurship is like that. So sometimes we meet friends who are doing business and they say that I made this mistake and I went through this kind of scenario. I am tired. I've gone through this. It's not unique with you. It's not unique with me. The only thing that pushes us to just get to a point where we feel like we should give up is because we probably have not studied the trajectory, for the things that people build. That the things that they go through, the map that they go through, the path that they take. So if you care to sit down and to study and get some data, you see that usually you have not failed. Usually you have not even deviated. just that you still need a lot of hours to get the results, and so if you don't study that, then you will be saying that I just put in some 2 years into building a business, and I'm not seeing any results. People have cheated me, people have run away with my money, those things that people say. What did you expect? Did you expect that nobody will run away with your money? You're sleeping. Somebody will run away with your money. Somebody will disagree with you. Somebody will cheat you. It will take a lot of emotional strength. It will take a lot of physical strength to succeed. It will take a lot of financial strength. Financially, you will be stretched. Emotionally, your dream will stretch you. Your business will stretch you. Your startup will stretch you. Mentally, it will stretch you because it will call for a lot of thinking and planning. And even physically, you have to be fit to keep going. You cannot be sick every minute and think that you get to your dreams. You would have to be on your feet to go and meet some people. You would have to be on your feet to go and give some talk. You would have to be on your feet to do whatever dreams that you have set for yourself. If you're building a business, physically you have to be strong. You cannot be sick all year long and say that you are going to get to your dream. It's not going to happen. You cannot be physically not strong and say that you are going to build a business. It will take a lot of strength. Health, you need health, and you need to be emotionally stable. You need to be mentally strong. You need to be, you should be prepared that financially you'll be stretched if you're going to succeed. And all of those will take a lot of work to keep going. That's why the people who succeed are the only ones who keep going. The ones who give up will not succeed. So your relationships will be tried. Don't forget that. You will lose friends. Sometimes you will sacrifice even family, because they may not be seeing the sense in what you're doing, and some of them may not be that patient for you, to go through all that before you become successful. Some people have sacrificed their family, their marriage, their children into getting into their dreams. I don't recommend that. It's not the best of approach, but usually because they didn't know that much, and so they were just focused on that and they left the family. By the time that they succeeded with their business, the family was nowhere. So it will take some kind of stretch and hard work and stress. A lot of your friends will not be part when you succeed. That I can tell you. The people who are smiling and happy with you when you start your business, by the time that you are big in your business, or by the time that you start to see some successes, a lot of them will not be there. Why? Because you will not be able to feed the friendship, all of them, because your business needs attention, needs time, needs sacrifice. And this friendship also needs time, needs sacrifice, needs attention, and sometimes you just have to choose in between. And so the thing that you set, that whatever you want to become successful in, will call for so much attention that sometimes you would be stretched and tried on the other associations. Sometimes even your partners. You start a business with somebody, and sometimes by the time the business succeeds, you're no more together. Because it takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of hard work, it takes a lot of disagreement. Society will disagree with you, family will disagree with you, partners sometimes will disagree with you. Sometimes you'll be so much lonely. These are the facts. If you want to build a business, be prepared for that. Don't just think that it's just going to happen. It's not just going to happen like that. It will take a lot of effort, and that is why very few people in this world ever dare to be committed to building anything, because you almost have to be crazy to keep building something, which usually takes a while for you to see success. So when you are in your downtime, when you are going through the negatives, when you are going through the things that don't make sense, when you are going through the things that are taking a lot of finances from you, that are taking a lot of strength from you, that are taking a lot of disagreement from you, at that moment, at that stretch, at that point, very few people will be there for you. And so the only way that you will keep going is when you put in the hours, when you keep focus. And you cannot focus when you don't know how to work hard. And so when you say that you are going to build business, when you say that you are going to do something for yourself, when you set a dream for yourself, what you are indeed telling yourself is that I am going to do whatever it will take for me to succeed. And so if it has to take 2 years for me to succeed, if it has to take 10 years for me to succeed at this business, especially business, It will take a lot of effort. It will take a lot of sacrifices. It will take a lot of losses. It will take a lot of disagreement. It will take a lot of pain. Almost everything for you to get there. So if you're that kind who thinks that once you start something, you're just going to succeed anyway, anyhow, and that most people usually even underestimate the cost, the finances that it will take, the things, the sacrifices. Most people will just underestimate that. So because they think that they will just get to the goal. Prepare yourself. It takes hard work for you to succeed. It takes a lot of work. If you are going to succeed, don't deceive yourself. Success, anybody that you have seen succeeding or who has been successful at anything, what they are not telling you is that the success you are seeing is just a proof of all the hard work that they have put in. So it's just, the success is just a symptom of something. It's a proof of something. Success is just a proof of the hard work, of the long hours, of the pain, of the struggles, of the disagreements, of the losses, of the pushings that you have done. So if you see anybody succeeding in anything, your attention should not just be at the things that you're seeing that you're admiring, but what you would want to know is how they endured the processes. So if you are that kind of person who believes that somebody will just pray for you and everything will happen and you just succeed, maybe yours is very special. Maybe you're a very special person. Maybe God loves you so much. But what I've seen is that this life, people who succeed stay with the process. They put a minimum number of hours. They have said that we are not going to put in less than 5,000, 8,000, 10,000 hours in anything to become an expert at that. And business is like that. Business will take you a lot of hours for you to start to see, because you're starting with an idea that you don't even know whether it's going to work. You are starting without even the required business skill. You're starting without maybe even the finances. You're starting without the network. You are starting the business in an environment that nobody even understands what you're putting out. You are starting an environment where the business structure is not even developed. You're starting an environment that you're going to meet a lot of oppositions. But this is your dream that you have for yourself. You have so much dream. You have so much confidence in that. It's something which is in your heart. You know you want to do it. You want to become it. Nobody can tell you not to do it. You are so much focused on it, obsessed, which is a good thing. But all the focus, all the obsession, all the commitment, they are needed because you are going to go through a lot of opposing forces, a lot of turbulences, a lot of things that will take you off your dream, off your target, of you getting to the success. And so you will need to just constantly be going. You cannot be a lazy person and succeed. Don't ever believe that you can just be somebody who is lazy, somebody who's just simple-minded, somebody who just puts in a little and gives up and think that you're going to succeed. It's not like that. Anybody that you see succeeding is succeeding because they enjoy the process. And you cannot endure any process without putting in the hours, without the hard work. So when they are telling you to work smart, what they are telling you is that be smart enough to stay going. To keep going when everybody else is giving up, to keep going when everybody does not agree with you, to keep going when everything seems like it's not working. Because that's what it means by working hard. You're working hard to get results. You are not just enduring the pain, you are not just enduring the disagreement, you are not just putting up a show. You are pushing to get to your goal. That is what we mean. And when you are pushing, that is the work. That is the hard work. So somebody gave you a contract, they said I'll finish it in 2 weeks. And you know that if you do it 4 hours a day, you will finish it in 2 weeks. Now, if you want to impress that person, you want to do it 6 hours a day, so that within a week and a day, you have finished the work. They will be impressed and they will be looking at that. This guy is serious. The only reason that somebody will say somebody is serious is because they work hard. It's because they get the results, because they are not lazy. They don't give excuses. They want to get the thing done. And who does not want to work with somebody who is prompt, somebody who is at the work, somebody who wants to get the results at all costs, at all means. So if they tell you that you are going to succeed, just by just being there. They're lying to you. They're lying to you. Nothing works, nothing succeeds without people working and putting in the required hours. And putting in the required hours will take a lot of hard work. Okay, so whenever you see somebody succeeding or somebody who has been successful at anything, don't just admire the flag. Don't just admire the trophy. Ask them how they work. Ask them their work ethics. Ask them the hours they get up, the hours they sleep. Ask them the break that they take. Ask them how diligent they are. How do they work? Because their success is coming from that. The success that you see. And so if you have those work ethics where you get at it before, if you are not seeing the results, you're not going to sleep. If they give you the target, you want to finish before you go home. If you're that kind of person, you can succeed. Because that's all it is. That's all it is. But if you're that kind of person, they give you work and you're giving excuses. They give you work, you are thinking of the party and the program, and you're thinking of going to eat. You're thinking of going to sleep and resting. Why you are talking yourself down? Why am I even worrying myself so much? Why am I going through all this? It doesn't even worth it. If you're that kind of person, forget. Don't worry yourself. Just go and get somewhere. But if you want to build business, you cannot be the one complaining. You cannot be the one giving excuses. You cannot be the one sleeping. You cannot be the one. If you set any target, you just have to make a way to make it work, to come in, to hit the target. So my name is Obin Darko. I am talking about success. Business success particularly requires or takes hard work. And don't ever deceive yourself that you can lazy around and still succeed. And if you're hardworking, you will see it in how you manage your time and how you manage your resources. All right, how you manage your time and how you manage your resources. And so succeeding is not that simple. It's not that straightforward. It takes a lot of effort, and you're going to put some minimum number of hours. They say that startups take a lot of hours before they start to make profitable. They get profitable. They start to see some level of revenue. And so if you started business with your friends, you started business yourself, and you put yourself in it, and it was going well, and then it started to sink. and it has been sunk for the last 4 years. Don't give up. Fight from where the depth that you are. Fight back up, because it's part of the trajectory. It's part of the graph that they draw for startups. It's part of business. And so when you start to hit the ground, fight back up. Continue to put in the hours. Even when you don't have money, move around. Talk to people. Make the calls. Talk to people. Don't worry about the disagreements. Don't worry about the people who left. Don't worry about the money that you lost. Don't worry about all those things. Don't worry about them, because they are all part of the problems. And the problems are there. If you want to overcome the problems, you just have to work hard. That's all. And you don't have to kill yourself. You don't have to be bitter. You don't have to be angry after anything. If you set up any dream, it is going to take a lot of effort to get to the dream realization. Okay? And everybody's part is different. Your part is different from my part. So what you have to understand is that it goes through a lot of processes. And so when your time comes and you need to put in the hours, you just have to keep going. Even when you're making profit and you're still at the upscale, at the up part, you still have to put in a lot of hours to keep the momentum. You cannot just relax and say that I've seen they have paid me this project, so I want to go and relax. No, you relax, you start to sink. Okay, because life success. So you see the boys who play at a very peak level, those who score all the time. What you don't know is that they're always training. So you watch TV and you are clapping for them, and you call yourself I'm Messi guy, I'm Ronaldo, if you watch football, what you should be inspired is copying the skill, the precision, and asking yourself, what did this guy go through to get to this level of precision? And you copying that kind of philosophy to whatever you are doing with your life. Don't just watch the football, don't just watch the boxer and just get inspired and go and live broke and go and live frustrated. Go and just drink something because you're confused and you think that the football is a panacea to all the problems that you're going through. No, you should watch the football, look at the strategy, look at the training, look at how they have become, and think of the scenarios, the things that they have gone through to be playing at this level of precision, and get inspired and go and do the same thing. Don't just watch football and just be happy. Watch boxing and be happy. Watch that movie. Look at the movie. What do you think took them? What do you think they went through to produce that kind of quality of movie? And how can you apply those to your business? How can you apply those to your career development? How can you apply those to that which you have set for yourself? Because I can almost guarantee you that anything that you are admiring, if it's a shirt that you are admiring, if it's a business somebody has built that you are admiring, if it's a company that somebody has built that you are admiring, even if it's a church that somebody has built that you are admiring. You know, people start to compare ourselves to Singapore and those countries. Even if it's a country that you are admiring and you think that our country should be there, what you are overlooking is that it took them a lot of hard work. It took them something they call creativity. It took them a lot of perseverance. It took them a lot of courage. It took them a lot of intelligence. It caused them friends and relationships. It caused them families. It caused them disagreement. It stretched them financially. It stretched them mentally. It stretched them emotionally. And sometimes physically they were exhausted, but they kept going. And you are just admiring the output, the results. But you should be inspired by the results, rather than just admiring them and going to sleep. Even if it's soap opera that you like watching, it took them a lot to put that together. You should take those and go apply them, because it takes a lot of effort to succeed. Never deceive yourself. Whether it's the family, whether it's a business, whether it's friendship, whether it's marriage, whatever that you have seen people do and who have succeeded in those things, it took them a lot of hard work. It doesn't just happen. But naturally, most people around the world don't like anything that gravitates towards responsibility, anything that will make them sit up and not sleep, anything that will make them become responsible for the results. Most people don't like that. Most people want success, but they want it in a magical form. They want it in the miraculous form. They want it by being prayed for. They want it by somebody giving it to them for free. They don't want to go through the process. They don't want to go through the hard work. They don't want to go through all the things that they have to go through to succeed. And that is an illusion. That's why most people will not achieve a lot. Okay, so people underestimate what it takes for them to go through to become successful. And so you develop yourself and convince yourself that it will take a lot for me to succeed. It will take a lot of work for me to succeed. And so you don't curse yourself when you're working. Some people work for the government, and when they are working so hard, their friends will start to talk them down. Or some people even work for companies, and when they are that much diligent and commitment to the work, people, your friends, will start to talk bad to you, try to ridicule you, try to laugh at you. That why is the work for you? Why are you trying to take the? Are you the? Is the owner your father? Why are you trying to kill yourself? What they don't know is that skill is what you need to succeed at anything. And so don't listen to the people who are telling you, why do you come in so early? They give us something, take your time. Why do you want to finish so much and go for, it's a character. Success is character. And so if you're hardworking, you're hardworking, no matter where you work. Whether somebody is present to supervise you or not, you're just hardworking. You just put in, you just want to get results. You don't listen to other people, because you will not get results by just being lazy. That's the fact. And if you really are hardworking, no matter where they put you, you're hardworking. No matter where they put you. And some people want to say that, they work somewhere, they say, I want to start my own business. You want to start your own business? And you're lazy where you are working? Forget it. It will never work. So if you work somewhere, prove yourself, test yourself. Give yourself a scenario that I'm going to get results here. If you can get results where you are, and nobody has to coach you, push you, talk to you, coerce you before you work, then you can take that character. Because business, if where you're working is taking you 1 to get success, if you start your business, it take you 1,000 or more. Because it takes a lot of hard work to succeed as a business. And nobody will be responsible for the errors. It's you. If somebody makes mistake and there's a financial loss, there's life, if there's any loss, they come to you finally, if you're the business owner, and it takes a lot of effort to keep going. And so if you work somewhere, never deceive yourself that you're working for that person. You're working to become better, because your dream, whether you work for somebody all your life or you start to build a business, you can only get the success when you work hard. If you're lazy, forget. If you're a student and you're lazy, you will not pass the exam. The same in life. If you're lazy, you will not pass the exam unless you start to cheat. And cheating is not the way forward, because when you cheat, you're just digging a hole in front of you, you fall into it. So you would want to go through the why people are lazy and they still think that they will get where they are, where they want to get to, is because they want to cheat their way through. You know, you want to cheat your way through. So you think that you can cut corners and just get something. You get the house, you get the car, and you call those, you get the contracts by ways and means because you're lazy. If you want to go through the right process, the only way that you can be honest in your dealings is because you work hard. It's because you're resilient. It's because you want to stay with the process. That is the only way that you get to the results, and you get to the results knowing that you didn't sacrifice your character, you didn't sacrifice your values, you were honest, you're ethical, and you got there. And that's why you'll be proud of the success. If you had to steal to get that success, you will not be proud of it. You're not happy. Especially if you're religious, if you're Christian, you don't want to cheat your way to get there. You want to get there knowing that you apply the wisdom God gave you, you apply the knowledge God gave you, you apply the talent God gave you, you apply the things that you think help you to get there. And that's why you can be happy and say that God did this for me. But if you know that you cheated and lie, and you tell people that God helped you, you know down within you that's not the case, and you lie and you cheated and you screw everybody to get there, and that's not what you want. So if your philosophy of working hard is weak, that's what you do. But every endeavor, every business, every startup, every entrepreneur gets to get to the success that they have achieved, they have chalked, because they committed to working. They committed not to give up. They committed to the processes. They were courageous. They were intelligent. They were committed. It took a lot of emotional strength from them. It took a lot of disagreement from people. It doesn't matter. It's part of the dream. Don't forget about who walked away. Don't worry. People have their will. So even if it's your wife, even if it's your brother, if it's your sister, people who one way or the other will fall off, because getting to the dream, especially a business dream, takes a lot of hard work, and not many people will be ready enough to go through all the way to the point that you get to the success. So my name is Obin Darko. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you. Enjoy your evening. Thank you very much.